Hey everybody, welcome to the 7 levels of energy leadership training. I know I've been talking about this for the last few days, so here we go. So in my post a couple of days ago, you're going to see something called the energetic self-perception chart, and we're going to go through that today. We're going to talk about what the circles mean. We're going to talk about what the different thoughts, emotions, and actions mean. One of the things we learned from a previous training is that you might consider that the thoughts you have create the emotions that you feel, and that those emotions create the actions that you do or don't do based on the thoughts and feelings that you're having. So thank you again for joining me on this training. It's always great to have you here to learn at your own pace, or to learn how you can work with me and really get a deeper one-on-one opportunity to learn about yourself, your energy levels, your productivity, and a whole lot more. This is lesson 3 of 13 training lessons that I'm going to be putting out. So let's get started. So the levels that we're talking about, I talked about from the emotional levels before. Level 1 is fear, and the role of level 1 is being a victim. So what's the advantage of being at level 1? One of the advantages is that it doesn't take a whole lot of energy, and you don't have to do much of anything. You can basically sit around, let other people do things for you, and take advantage of that way. The unfortunate part is that the disadvantage is that you have a lack of engagement in your roles and tasks, and you have a lack of ability to lead yourself or others. So what can you do at this point? One thing that you can do is you can move yourself into action, and you can realize that there's other energy levels other than just being afraid or being a victim. And by doing that, you can push yourself into action. So that leads us to the second energy level, which is anger. And so anger is the core emotion of level 2. And what happens with anger? Anger's role is known as the fighter. So when you're angry, you can get a lot of things done, although they might not be that productive. They might be unproductive, and they might leave people with a bad taste in their mouth. So you can motivate others by fear, by aggression, by force. Those are some advantages. And remember, it's catabolic. So fear and anger are catabolic, meaning they're destructive levels of energy. If you look at your energetic self-perception chart, you're going to be realizing that you're in the circle of self. So what does that mean? So when you're in fear and anger, you basically have blinders on to the world outside you. You only see the things happening inside you. So that doesn't allow you to access working with others effectively. You're just thinking of yourself, and you're being self-motivated to do whatever things that you think are going to help you progress on your own. A disadvantage of level 2, other than being thought of as potentially an a-hole, is your motivation from anger and fear won't create satisfactory results. And basically, you won't be able to inspire others. You'll be using force. You'll be dissatisfied. You'll be unproductive. You'll probably quit and give up if you don't quit. Well, I mean, quitting is giving up, right? I'm being kind of clueless right now. But you'll probably give up because you'll be so frustrated with everything around you that you won't necessarily know what to do. So when I was talking about moving up the energetic perception chart from fear, one of the things you can do is you can get angry, which gets you into action. It's not necessarily the best action, but at least it gets you from the lowest level of catabolic or destructive energy to the next level of catabolic energy, which is anger. So at least now you're putting yourself into action. So what can you do with anger so that you can elevate yourself to the next level? That would be level 3. So level 3, the emotion is forgiveness. And one of the things that you start to think about at this level is being responsible. You start to realize that you aren't looking inside anymore. This is for the first time you're looking outside of yourself to the outside world. You're seeing outside of your own box, and you're realizing, oh, wait, there's other people. Maybe I should be considerate. Maybe I should be responsible for myself and be forgiving of myself and potentially of others. Why would you want to be forgiving? Well, one of the things that forgiveness allows you to do is it allows you to let go of fear and anger for yourself. So a lot of people make the mistake, I make the mistake even to this day sometimes, that forgiveness is not for the people you are forgiving. You're actually doing it for yourself so you can let go of your own fear and your own anger, and then that can allow you to cooperate with others. One of the problems with Level 3 is that now you're starting to cope and you're starting to create the exercises that allow you to realize, well, you know what? Things aren't so bad. I don't have to always get angry, but you might be manipulative. You might be using people as opposed to just letting them be and just doing good things and anabolic, constructive things for the purpose of being good and constructive. So the advantage of level 3 is you're not allowing other people to stand in the way of what you want. And basically you have an ability to avoid and block negative feelings and negativity of others, and you can engage others with promises and hopes. The disadvantage, like I said before, is you can be manipulative. You might be concerned with yourself. The hopes and promises might not be given from your heart. They might be given from your head because you're thinking so much about, how am I going to cope with this? How am I going to get through this? What makes the most sense to me at this point? And where can I go from here? So that's level 3. I dropped something. And level 3 also allows you to rationalize what's going on in your circumstances so that you can make sense of it and start to get anabolic. So the good news is level 3 is the beginning of anabolic or growth producing energy, which is going to allow you to say, hey, it's not all about me all the time. I can look to others and I can see where I can produce effective results. How can you get from level 3 further along to be anabolic? So let's look at level 4. Level 4 is known as the caregiver, and some emotions that might be associated with level 4 are compassion, having concern for others, and that's a thought, the concern, which will allow you to be compassionate or feel for them and feel with them. An example might be, well, I don't agree with everything that my boss is doing, but I understand that my boss is a human being just like me. They have hopes, wishes, and dreams, and I might want to see things, from their point of view to see what might they be struggling with, or how can I be a good team player? How can I help out around the job so that things can go a lot better than they're going lately? So one of the things you might start to do as an action is service with that. And so with level 4, the advantage of level 4 is that you might not take things as personally as you would being afraid, being angry, or just coping with things. So you're going to truly start to care for other people and help them function as best as they can. You're starting to think of others before yourself. But the disadvantage is you might get caught up in drama. You might get caught up in sympathizing with other people as opposed to not letting that bother you. As you get further up the anabolic levels, you're going to start to realize, oh, who cares about the drama? Who cares about the sympathy? So you're going to have a motivation at level 4 for being liked more than for being productive. And so that can be a potential disadvantage. Which, how do you solve that? Well, you can either stay where you are and get better at being compassionate with other people and learning to turn off the drama and the BS, or you can move up anabolically to level 5. Level 5, the energy, the emotion is peace. And how do you get to peace? Well, one of the things that you would start to think about is, how do I reconcile right and wrong? Like if you see the drama at work or at home, you might say, oh, there's drama going on. How do I, decipher, what's right and what's wrong so that I can have peace for myself and create acceptance in my actions of what's going on? So level 5 is very cognitive, and what you're going to be looking for as an advantage is to find opportunities in every challenge that comes your way. You're going to see things as win-win. How can I win, and how can I have other people win as well? And you're going to take almost nothing personally because you're going to realize, well, I'm not going to get caught up in the drama, so I might as well not take things personally. But again, there's a disadvantage. Because level 5 is mainly in your head versus in your heart, and we'll get to that shortly, a disadvantage could be something called paralysis by analysis. You're so busy looking at everything and trying to figure out what everything is and not take everything personally, you might get stuck in analyzing everything and not just allowing things to be and just rolling with what's going on. So this might have you disengage from your emotions at this level. So from there, one of the things you can do is say, all right, how can I get better at win-win scenarios? A lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of leaders have a lot of level 5 energy, and they're very smart, they're very engaged with people, they're looking to make sure other people win from their level of service, and they're looking to make sure that they win. If there's not a win-win in their mind, then no one wins. Which leads us to level 6. So how do you level up your game here? One of the things you can realize in level 6 is that everything is always working in harmony. You can start thinking that way and saying, if everything's always working in harmony, then I'll probably feel a sense of joy. And in another video previous to this one, I said joy doesn't always mean jumping up and down and thinking everything's great. It just means that you're content in knowing that everything's already working harmoniously, which is going to give you the action of wisdom and allowing you to operate from that wisdom so that you feel your sense of contentedness, and people start to see that around you, and they start to realize, wow, Francis is really somebody that we can count on because he knows how everything works and he sees everything working together. So one of the things that level 6 energy's advantages will allow you to have is empathy, the ability to feel and connect with others without judging. And one of the disadvantages is that you might not be grounded and you might be thought of as aloof. You could also be a really big risk taker because you might think, well, if everything's already working in harmony, I could do whatever I want, which could be a pitfall. So you might want to step back and say, well, I might not want to be so much of a risk taker. I might want to stop thinking that I know it all and can do everything just because I already believe everything's working. Just because you have anabolic energy doesn't mean everything's solved. It means that you're starting to get a grasp on what's going on around you and you being able to be resilient despite that. And then level 7 is the highest level of energy in our self-perception chart, where you're going to create the thoughts of non-judgment. No matter what happens, you see things as this just is. You're going to operate from the emotions of passion, and you're going to create as your action. So when you operate from your passionate levels, you're exercising things like unconditional love. You're showing up knowing that you're the author, the writer, the producer, the director, the actor, you're everything all at once, and you're seeing all that working in harmony. So some of the thoughts of level 1 through 7, let's take level 1, which would be the frame of reference is I lose. Level 2 in anger would be you lose. And in some cases, I win, you lose. So it's not a good scenario for one party, even though another party thinks they're having a good scenario. Level 3, the frame of reference is I win. And if you win also, great. If you don't, whatever, I win. I'm coping and I'm winning. Level 4 is you win. So I'm putting your needs before mine. And if I win too, great. Level 5 is win-win, like I said before, and there is no winning unless everybody wins. Like I win, you win, everybody wins. Level 6 is everyone always wins because everything is always working in perfect harmony together, and that's the frame of reference, that's the thought process. And then level 7 is winning and losing are an illusion. So if you're a creator, you realize, oh, there's no such thing as time. Oh, there's no such thing as winning and losing. These are all constructs of a game that we created as human beings that allow us to operate in a certain way. And because that game is being played, that's just the way things go. But as a creator, you're also recognizing like, hey, I'm a creator. I get to call the shots and I'm doing the best that I can from my point of view without judging others. So some of the ways that you can work on your levels of energy, for example, levels 1 and 2, you might want to journal your thoughts and your emotions to start to see, oh, why am I so pissed off all the time? Or why do I feel like a victim? You can journal about it. You can meditate on it. You can talk to a trusted friend. You can go to your place of worship or go out in nature and get some calm and have a respite from what you're doing to try to determine, okay, why do I get angry? Why am I afraid? What's causing these things? Another way you can explore these energy levels is working with me one-on-one, which we've talked about before. Check out my posts, check out my stories, check out my reels, and be in touch with me. I give free consultations and we can get right to the root of what you're interested in and what you want to work on, whether it's your business, whether it's your personal life, whether it's both, family, etc. So the next lesson that we're going to be looking at is something called leadership strengths and gaps. And what we mean by that is, where are you strong already and where do you have opportunities to improve? Again, I'm Francis Williams, and thank you for joining me on today's training. I know it was really short and it blew by, but I'll see you in the next training. I hope you got a lot out of this. If you have questions, DM me or comment, and I'll talk to you soon. See you in the next training. Bye.